Alright guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Legends video, and today I am recording this right after my reaction to Omega Shenron because I have to break down this unit. I'm breaking him down for one of two reasons. Reason number one, to urge you, if you are free to play and you are coming off of the 6th anniversary with a few stones to your name, please skip this banner. This banner is a cooldown banner when it comes to stuff after big celebrations. They usually have a cooldown banner where it could be a good unit, right? I haven't seen Shenron yet, I haven't looked at his kit yet, that's why we're here. But the main reason of this banner is to sort of phase us into the road to Legends Fest 2024, which is something I mentioned briefly in my reaction video. So again, if you are free to play, number one, I urge you to save your crystals. We are, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my calendar, you're not going to be able to see it, but we are 1, 2, 3, 4. We are about 4.5 months away from Legends Festival. What does that mean? Legends Festival, in my opinion, right, and this is my opinion alone, is number one, the hypest celebration in the entire year, and number two, the celebration with the hardest hitting units. Now, of course, things have changed because of how good 6th anniversary was. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to Legends, they usually keep all their chips in one place until Legends Festival. In Legends Fest, we have had the releases of immensely meta-defining units. For the first ever Legends Fest, we had the release of the first ever UI Sign Goku, who introduced the unique gauge. 2 years after that, or a year after that, we had the release of the first ever summonable Ultra unit in Ultra Super Gogeta. And then we obviously had, the introduction of tag units. So, while the 6th anniversary is fun, and it was a great anniversary, in my opinion, it was the best celebration in the game, I wholeheartedly believe that Legends Fest is going to top this. I do really think Legends Fest is going to top Anniversary in some way, shape, or form. So, with that said, number one, save your Chrono Crystals. Number two, if you decide to jump into this banner, you have to make sure that this unit's good. So that's why we're here. We're going to go ahead and break down his abilities. This will be sort of a overlooking type thing. It's really late, I'm really tired, but we're going to go through it right here. So this will sort of be like a Goresh style breakdown video, because obviously we're not in the game, we are in the Dragon Ball Legends website. So yeah, with that said, this content is still under development and is subject to change. So I'm pretty sure this unit will release on Wednesday, which will be the day of the weekly reset. That'll pretty much end our 6th anniversary after party. Now, we won't get anything else anniversary related once that weekly reset hits. So I'm pretty sure this Shenron is not part of the 6th anniversary. I'm pretty sure he is part of moving forward towards Legends Fest. But I'm pretty sure he does release this Wednesday upon weekly reset. But put the pressure on your opponents with a combination of continuous damage, high defenses, and disruptive abilities. Legends Limited Omega Shenron joins the fight. Strengths. Number 1. Strong poison and heavy bleed. Omega Shenron's strike and blast arts can inflict strong poison on hit, and the special move arts can inflict heavy bleed on hit. Use these damage over time effects to wear down your opponent. Number 2. High defensive capabilities. Nullify unfavorable element factors for both offense and defense. Nullify attribute downgrades and seal the enemy's special arts upon entering the battlefield. Plus, nullify an enemy's wide-range special arts attack at one time. So I'm pretty sure what that nullification is probably his unique gauge. Well, actually, we're getting to that. So number 3, unique gauge that fully charges with every Dragon Ball gain. So his unique gauge is going to be fusing Super Vegetos and Path to Power Gokus. So anytime you get a Dragon Ball card, you're able to charge your unique gauge. Use a strike or blast arts when the unique gauge is full to buff both offense and defense with effects that boost arts card draw speed, nullifies enemies cover change, and more. Or if you are hit with an enemy's arts attack, powerful defensive effects will activate, like health restoration and sealing enemy ultimate and awakened arts. Now this is something interesting. This is the first time we've seen this come back since the Legends original Goku and Bardock. When health reaches 0, survive with Indestructible. Omega Shenron has Indestructible, the same ability Goku and Bardock has. After Indestructible ends, Omega Shenron's health will be restored by 50% and you'll gain 1 Dragon Ball, meaning you can take your opponent's most powerful move and then get ready for a counter attack. Show your opponents the meaning of despair with Legends Limited. I'm sorry, I'm breaking out the laugh because the meaning of despair. Alright, with Legends Limited Omega Shenron, the embodiment of negative karma and the zenith of the Shadow Dragons. So, Element Green character tags are Regen, GT, Absorption, Fusion Warrior, Shadow Dragon, and Powerful Opponent, and he is part of the Shadow Dragon saga. His Z ability at Z ability 3 is a plus 30% to tag GT, tag Powerful Opponent, and tag Regen, Base Blast Attack, and Strike Defense, and a plus 15% to tag GT, Base Strike Attack during the battle. His strikes seem to be a normal strike. You get a 100% chance to inflict strong poison on hit and a blast armor when charging forward. His blast is a another 100% chance to inflict strong poison. So basically, if you're hitting someone with strike or blast, you're guaranteed to give them, I guess, stun. Essentially, is what it is. The blue card doesn't give us the name. Inflict heavy bleed on hit. You even have a 20% chance to inflict faint. Faint. That's the game we're playing. We're bringing back Faint to the meta. Okay. Deals massive impact damage. The following effects occur upon activation: a plus 30% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 50% to health restoration for 10 timer counts. Applies the following effects to self, or applies the following effects to enemies on hit: a 20% chance to inflict faint and a 100% chance to inflict heavy bleed. The special move arts card, or the special arts card, the green card. Destroy your opponent's cards, inflict all enemies with substitution counts, and activate other disruptive effects. This arts can even buff Omega Shenron's offenses under certain conditions. It can nullify element disadvantage and even draw an ultimate card. So this green card is really similar to green Super Saiyan Trunks, where if you have a green card, you can draw it and you can get an ult card off of that. So he can potentially be drawing more than 1 ultimate card, so you don't necessarily need his main ability to draw his ult. Restores own ki by 50, randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, cancels enemies' buff effects, inflicts all enemies with 2 substitution counts, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage received for 15 timer counts, also applies the following effects to self according to the conditions met. 50% timer counts, or 50 timer counts have elapsed from the start of battle, nullifies element disadvantage for 5 timer counts, an ally activates Rising Rush, increases Dragon Balls by 1, activates runs. So if you are to do the Rising Rush with any of your allies, you immediately start building the other Rising Rush. So that's pretty solid. That's actually a really good ability there. There is a defeated battle member. Draws the ultimate arts card, draw a Dark Slaughter Feast next. So in order to draw the ult, so it's not like Trunks's, where if you just have a green card you get the second ult. It's literally you need to have a character down to be able to draw the other ult. So that's interesting. The ultimate itself, alright, deals supreme explode damage. The following effects occur upon activation: a plus 20% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts, nullifies enemies' endurance for 3 timer counts, a plus 20% to ultimate and awakened damage inflicted by allies, a plus 20% to special move damage inflicted by allied tag GT, tag Powerful Opponent, or tag Regen. So a pretty standard ultimate. The biggest thing here is probably this here. That's going to be helping him do a lot of damage as far as his ult goes. But so far from what I'm seeing, this character is very sabotaging. His main function, from what I can tell, is that he is wanting to sabotage the enemy team as much as possible. So in that regard, he's really similar to Yellow Sin Shenron, which isn't bad, but it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. The main ability draws the ultimate arts card next, restores own ki or own health by 20%, ki by 40. Usually it's ki by 50, so that's interesting as well. Cancels own attribute downgrades, reduces enemy ki, there it is. Reduces enemy ki by 50. So you get 40, you reduce by 50, you reduce enemies' Dragon Balls by 1. His first unique ability, this one's a long one. Applies the following effects itself when the battle starts, a plus 110% to damage inflicted. Cool. Reduces damage received by 70%, a plus 50% to ki recovery, minus 5 to arts cost, increases arts card draw speed by 1 level, and increases Dragon Balls by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6 of the first part cannot be canceled. Holy shit. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield, restores own ki by 20, a plus 90% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates once, a plus 30% to blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, nullifies own attribute downgrades for 10 timer counts, nullifies own element disadvantage for 5 timer counts, and that activates 3 times, nullifies own element disadvantage for damage sustained for 5 timer counts, seals the enemy's green card. The sealed arts cannot be used for 5 timer counts. That activates twice. A plus 20% to damage inflicted for 5 timer counts every time this character uses a strike or a blast arts card. So on top of potentially stunning you with poison, you get damage inflicted up every time. That's good. That is a very good card there. The following effects also occur when the enemy is inflicted with abnormal conditions. Seals one enemy card slot randomly. The sealed card cannot be used for 10 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade or plus 10% damage received for 15 timer counts. Excuse me. Shortens own substitution count by 5 when enemies activate an ult, an awakened, or a rising rush. So is this dude? Does he have endurance? Is that what's going on? Nullifies enemies' wide range special arts attacks while this character is on one of the following. So yeah, his gauge is going to be a counter gauge, but it's going to be wide range special arts. Is that? Yeah, because it's not special arts. So I'm assuming. Does that count for AoEs? Because if it counts for AoEs, he's going to be a really good counter to Gogeta at some point. Because he's a green, so that automatically puts him at a disadvantage, but that's interesting. Excludes abnormal conditions and special states caused by certain arts. Excludes changing cover. So, okay, cool. Interesting there. Okay, unique ability 2. Has a cover change against strike. You can combo into it with a blue. Fully charges unique gauge every time. Oh, wow. Wow. That's major. Fully charges unique gauge every time own Dragon Balls increase by 1. So you can... Wow. That's powerful. Wow. So essentially, anytime you get a Dragon Ball Arts card, your unique gauge is full. That's crazy. After this character's unique gauge resets, it will enter cooldown and will not increase for 10 times. Wow, okay, so that's where they get you. So it's an easy gauge to fill up, but you get a cooldown for it. That's interesting. All right. Resets own unique gauge to 0, and the following effects occur if this character uses a strike or a blast card when the unique gauge is full. Restores own ki by 50, reduces impact, explode, and slice damage received by 15%, cannot be stacked, applies until enemy combo is finished. Increases own arts card draw speed by 1 level for 10 timer counts, cannot be cancelled, applies buff effect, nullifies enemies cover change for 10 timer counts, inflicts enemies with a minus 10% to strike and blast arts power for 10 timer counts. If own unique gauge is full when hit by an enemy's arts attack while this character is on the battlefield, it resets to 0 and the following effects occur. Restores own health by 20%, a plus 50% to the next special move damage inflicted, reduces ki by 50, seals the enemy's ultimate and awakened. The sealed arts cannot be used for 5 timer counts, and the following effects occur on receiving an attack that reduces own health to 0. Applies effects cannot be canceled to set or cannot be defeated. There's the indestructible. All right, cancels own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions, nullifies own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions for 10 timer counts, destroys all of your enemy's cards, applies the following effects itself after invincible has ended or indestructible has ended, restores health by 50%, plus 20% to damage inflicted, increases Dragon Balls by 1. All right, so quite a bit when it comes to Shenron. I had originally said, because of this thing here, I don't remember where it was. I think it was around here in the first part of the unique gauge, or in the first part of the unique ability, where I was like, oh, does he have endurance? No, he doesn't have endurance. He just has the indestructible, which I forgot. Interesting. So it looks like this unit's going to be really good, or not even really good. It's just going to be solid. But again, stepping back to this, we are 4.5 months. 4.5 months goes by like that when it comes to Dragon Ball Legends. Like, before you know it, we are in November, ready for Legends Fest. I urge you, unless you are the biggest Omega Shenron like stan, like you've been waiting for this for years, then obviously if you want him, summon for him. But if you are a person who was lucky enough to leave the 6th anniversary with a good amount of Chrono Crystals, do not summon. He is a bait. He is a cooldown. We are guaranteed to get better units as the year goes on. And on top of that, for the New Year's banner, he will be featured. You will have a chance to pull him in the new year if you so choose. Right now, I don't think, number one, I don't think the meta needs a green unit. If anything, it needs a yellow unit because of how dominant Gogeta is. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Having a green unit with indestructible helps, yes, but indestructible can only take you so far when your Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is unstoppable. So I will not be summoning. I pretty simply think I will not be summoning, which kind of hurts. I'm a box collector at the end of the day. I love to collect the units more than anything, but I will skip him because I don't think he'll be good for the meta right now. I don't think I need him. If I want to use a green unit, I'll use Goku, which I prefer a million times over, even though this unit seems to be really strong. I just don't think it's a wise idea to summon on Omega Shenron, knowing that, number one, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta banner does not expire until August, so you have time. You have time to summon for Gogeta still. And number two, he's not going to work well in the meta. He is not. This is not a meta made for green units. So, yeah. With that said, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about Omega Shenron. Is he good? Is he bad? Is he mid? Let me know. And more importantly than that, let me know if you will be summoning. That's the most important part. I want to know if you'll be summoning. But yeah, with that said, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please consider pressing that like button, subscribing, and clicking that notification bell to be notified any time that I upload. Having said that, I'm going to go to bed. Peace!